Hey there. Ready to dive into healthy living?
Always,
You already know what's important, right?
of course.
But we're going beyond the basics today.
Love it.
We're dissecting this guide.
Fine.
It's called 10 Tips for Maintaining a Healthy Lifestyle and Body Weight. It's by Professor Yiking Song.
Oh, yeah?
He's an epidemiologist,
Right.
which means he really gets how our habits and health connect,
Yeah.
especially in a world that's, well,
Yeah.
been pretty wild lately.
It has been.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So first up,
Okay.
weight management.
Big one.
Yeah, Professor Song points out something we've probably all felt.
What's that?
Stress makes the number on the scale go up.
Oh, I know it.
And it's not just about overeating either, right?
It's way more complex than that.
So tell me more about that.
Okay, well, stress messes with our hormones,
Uh-huh.
sleep,
Yeah.
even how our bodies process food.
Really?
Yeah. So just knowing you're stressed is the first step.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Then you can make choices from a place of awareness,
Okay.
not guilt.
Right. That's important.
So that's where regular weigh-ins come in.
Exactly.
Not to obsess,
No. Right.
but to have that data point.
Right.
Yeah.
Think of it like checking your car's oil.
Okay.
You don't want to do it constantly,
Right.
but ignoring it leads to bigger problems down the line.
I see.
Professor Song suggests weighing yourself the same day and time each week
Okay.
for consistency.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
No more Monday morning freakouts after a weekend of fun.
Uh-huh. Exactly.
Okay.
Okay, next, the foundation of any healthy lifestyle. Nutrition.
Yes.
Professor Song is all about balance, protein,
Yes.
fiber,
Uh-huh.
and limiting those unhealthy fats, sugar, and excess calories.
Right.
But I gotta ask about this myth that's been circulating.
But which one?
Drinking tons of water to prevent viral infections.
Yeah, that one's been persistent
Right.
while staying hydrated. Hydration is crucial for overall health. There's no scientific evidence that it'll magically ward off viruses.
So you're saying it doesn't actually work?
I mean, there's no proof.
Okay.
I actually think this myth highlights how much we crave simple solutions to complex problems.
So true.
Right.
It's like we want a quick fix
Yeah.
instead of focusing on the bigger picture. Speaking of which,
Okay.
Professor Song mentions this fantastic Harvard resource on weight control foods.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
We'll link that in the show notes for you.
Great.
It's not just about salads.
No, not at all.
It really dives into the science of what keeps you feeling full and satisfied,
Yeah, man.
so you're less likely to crave those unhealthy options. Okay, now something I think we're all curious about.
What's that?
Supplements.
Oh, interesting.
Multivitamins are everywhere these days.
Yeah, they are.
Especially when we can't always get fresh produce.
Yeah, it's tough sometimes.
So does Professor Song think they're worth it?
He's cautious. While they can fill gaps in a less than perfect diet,
Okay.
there's zero proof they prevent or cure viral infections.
So no magic bullet.
No, and popping mega doses can actually backfire,
Really?
even with seemingly harmless vitamins.
Wow.
It's about targeted support,
Okay.
not a magic bullet.
So smart choices.
Yes.
Not just following trends.
Exactly.
What's interesting is he mentions certain micronutrients are key for immunity.
He does.
It's in the full guide, but what kind of stuff are we talking about?
He gets into things like vitamin D,
Okay.
zinc,
Uh-huh.
and selenium,
Interesting.
which many people are deficient in.
I see.
These play roles in everything from cell function to how our immune system responds to threats.
So it's not just about taking a random multivitamin.
Yeah, you need to know what you're deficient in.
Fascinating. It's like having a well-trained army inside you,
Uh-huh. I like that.
but they need the right supplies.
You do?
All right, this next one ties into hydration,
Okay.
but Professor Song debunks that water as virus prevention myth again.
Oh, he's really hammering that home.
He is.
He gives a link from the EPA to set the record straight.
We'll link that too.
Great.
But beyond myths,
Yeah.
think about this.
Okay.
Our bodies are mostly water.
It's true.
It's involved in every single process,
Yes.
from digestion to energy production. If we're chronically dehydrated,
Yeah.
it's like running a car on fumes. It's making those healthy choices harder too.
Right.
You're more likely to grab sugary drinks
Yeah.
or feel sluggish and skip your workout.
Absolutely.
And it affects sleep, mood, everything.
It really does.
So while it won't magically fight viruses,
Right.
hydration is the foundation
Yeah.
upon which all those other healthy habits are built.
I agree.
Okay, Let's move on to something that always gets me energized.
What's that?
Physical activity.
Yes.
Even when staying home is encouraged,
Yeah.
Professor Song is adamant about the benefits of regular exercise.
He is.
He even suggests online workouts, taking walks, anything to keep moving.
I'll love that.
He's all about finding what works for you.
It's true.
Some people thrive on structured routines.
Yeah.
Others need variety.
Right.
There's no judgment as long as you're consistently incorporating movement into your life.
Exactly.
He even recommends the American College of Sports Medicine website for at-home workout ideas.
Oh, nice.
It's a treasure trove of resources,
It is.
from beginner-friendly routines to more advanced stuff.
Cool.
Plus, they have tips for making exercise more fun,
That's important.
which is key to sticking with it.
Definitely.
Okay, here's a point I think a lot of us overlook.
What's that?
Reducing sedentary behavior.
Oh, interesting.
We might hit the gym a few times a week,
Yeah.
but what about the other hours we're sitting
Uh-huh.
at desks or on the couch?
Oh, I see what you mean.
Professor Song brings up this important point.
Okay.
Even with regular exercise,
Yeah.
too much sitting increases the risk of things like heart disease, diabetes,
Right.
even some types of cancer. It's almost like our bodies weren't designed for this level of stillness.
Yeah. Our modern lifestyles are working against us.
So what can we do?
Wow.
Stand while we work?
I mean, you could...
You ever watch TV?
Not necessarily.
It's more about being mindful, right?
Exactly.
So what does Professor Song suggest?
He suggests building mini movement breaks into your day.
Okay.
Get up and walk around every hour. Take the stairs instead of the elevator.
Right.
Maybe even pace while you're on the phone.
Those little things really add up, don't they?
They do.
I'm already feeling more inspired to move just thinking about it.
I know, me too.
And it's not just about physical health.
No.
Getting up and moving can actually boost your focus and creativity, too.
That's right.
Okay, I'm ready to swap my desk for a treadmill.
Uh-huh. I love it.
But before I do,
Yeah.
let's talk about something that's essential for both physical and mental well-being.
Okay.
Sleep.
Well, yeah.
Professor Song calls it the foundation of a strong immune system.
It's true.
He emphasizes that it's not just about how many hours you're logging,
Right.
but the quality of your sleep.
So important.
When we're well rested,
Yeah.
our bodies can repair damage, fight off infections,
Uh-huh.
and regulate hormones more effectively.
It's like hitting the reset button.
For your entire system.
Exactly.
And yet, so many of us sacrifice sleep
I know.
for work,
Yeah.
social media, you name it.
It's true.
It's almost like we wear our lack of sleep as a badge of honor.
Oh, yeah. Like it shows how busy and important we are.
But Professor Song makes it clear
Okay.
that mindset can backfire.
It can.
Sleep deprivation affects everything.
Yes.
From our mood to
Right.
our metabolism.
It's true.
Ugh.
And it makes us more susceptible to stress and illness.
So how do we make sleep a priority in a world that's constantly demanding our attention?
That's a great question.
And I'm eager to get into it.
Me too.
But for now,
Okay.
let's take a quick break.
Sounds good.
When we come back, we'll delve into more of Professor Song's tips,
Right.
including some myth-busting about alcohol
Oh, interesting.
and how to navigate those inevitable emotional ups and downs.
Important stuff.
Don't go anywhere.
We'll be right back.
Welcome back.
It's good to be back.
We're in the middle of unpacking these 10 healthy living tips from Professor Song, and I'm already feeling more motivated to make some changes.
I feel ya.
But let's be real.
Okay.
It's easy to get inspired,
It is.
but harder to put it all into practice.
True.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's why I appreciate how Professor Song breaks it down into manageable steps.
Okay.
He's not advocating for a complete overhaul,
Right.
but rather
Yeah.
small, sustainable shifts that add up over time.
Right. It's not about striving for perfection,
Oh,
which
right.
can feel overwhelming
Yeah.
and unsustainable.
For sure.
It's about finding what works for you
Yes.
and building from there.
Love it.
So let's dive back into these tips.
Okay, let's do it.
Before the break,
Uh-huh.
we were talking about the importance of sleep.
Right.
Professor Song recommends aiming for 7 to 8 hours a night.
Solid advice.
Any tips for actually achieving that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Consistency is key.
I see.
Think about it.
Okay.
We have routines for almost everything else in our lives.
Yeah, that's true.
From brushing our teeth
Right.
to our work schedules.
Yeah.
Why not establish a sleep routine, too?
How does...
Set a consistent bedtime and wake-up time,
Okay.
even on weekends,
Okay.
to regulate your body's natural sleep-wake cycle.
That makes so much sense.
Right.
Our bodies crave that rhythm.
We do.
And it's not just about timing, right?
It's not.
Creating a relaxing bedtime ritual can signal to our brains that it's time to wind down.
Exactly.
So give me an example.
Okay, well, that might involve taking a warm bath, reading a book,
Yeah.
or listening to calming music.
Okay.
And definitely ditch those screens at least an hour before bed. Yeah, that's hard.
It is. But the blue light emitted from devices can interfere with melatonin production, the hormone that regulates sleep.
Okay, so no scrolling through social media in bed.
Try to avoid it.
Okay, those are some great actionable tips.
Glad you have them.
Professor Song also provides a link to the CDC website for even more info on sleep hygiene.
Oh, that's a good resource.
We'll include that in the show notes for you.
Great.
Now let's switch gears and talk about alcohol.
All right.
There's this persistent myth that drinking can protect against the coronavirus.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that one.
Professor Song debunks that one pretty quickly.
Good, because it's not true.
Not only is there no scientific basis for that claim,
Right.
but alcohol consumption can actually weaken your immune system,
It can.
making you more vulnerable to infections.
Exactly.
It's like we're looking for any excuse to justify those unhealthy habits, right?
Like we all do that sometimes.
But let's be honest.
Okay.
Many of us enjoy a glass of wine or a beer now and then. I know I do.
What does Professor Song have to say about moderation?
He emphasizes that it's all about balance.
Okay.
If you choose to drink, do so responsibly
Right.
and within recommended guidelines.
Got it.
And be mindful of those empty calories,
Yes.
which can contribute to weight gain.
That's a good point.
He provides a helpful link to the American Heart Association's recommendations on alcohol and heart health.
Okay, we'll include that in the show notes too.
Awesome.
It's all about making informed choices, right?
It is.
And knowing what works for your body and lifestyle.
Couldn't agree more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's move on to a topic that's especially relevant these days.
What's that?
Managing emotions.
Oh, that's a big one.
Professor Song acknowledges that challenging times can take a toll on our mental well-being,
It's true.
which can directly impact our physical health.
He's highlighting the mind-body connection,
Yes.
which is something we often overlook.
Right.
Stress, anxiety,
Yeah.
even just feeling down can trigger a cascade of physiological changes that impact everything from our sleep to our immune function.
It's like a domino effect.
Exactly.
So how do we break that cycle?
Yeah.
Professor Song suggests finding healthy ways to manage stress and anxiety.
He does.
But what does that look like in practice?
He points to resources from the CDC that offer practical coping mechanisms
Okay.
for managing stress and anxiety.
What kind of coping mechanisms?
Well,
Okay.
beyond that, it's about finding what works for you.
Okay.
Some people find solace in mindfulness practices,
Like what?
like meditation or yoga,
Uh-huh.
while others benefit from journaling
Okay.
or
Right.
spending time in nature.
I like that.
The key is to be proactive and build those stress-reducing habits into your daily routine.
It's almost like building a toolkit of coping mechanisms, right?
Exactly.
So you have different strategies to draw from
Yeah.
depending on the situation.
Right.
And don't underestimate the power of social connection. Even though we might be physically distancing,
Yeah,
maintaining those social bonds is crucial for our emotional well-being.
so true.
Talk to friends and family,
Wow.
join online communities, even just wave to your neighbor.
Yeah, it all helps.
Those little interactions can make a big difference.
It can.
I love that you brought that up.
Thanks.
It's so easy to isolate ourselves when we're feeling stressed or overwhelmed,
It is.
but connection is often the antidote.
I agree. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, let's switch gears and talk about how technology can be a tool for health.
Okay. Interesting.
Professor Song suggests using apps
Oh, yeah.
to track things like movement,
Uh-huh.
sleep,
Yeah.
and heart rate.
Cool.
I think this is a great example of how we can leverage technology for good.
I agree.
These apps can provide valuable insights into our habits
Yeah.
and help us identify areas where we might need to make adjustments.
Mm-hmm.
It's like having a personalized health coach right in your pocket.
I love that analogy.
Yeah. It's that data-driven approach that can be really motivating for some people.
It can.
Seeing your progress,
Mm-hmm.
even in small increments,
Right.
can keep you on track
Yeah.
and help you celebrate those wins.
Absolutely.
And there are apps for everything these days.
It's great.
From calorie tracking to guided meditation
Yeah.
to sleep analysis.
Exactly.
It's about finding the tools that work for you
It is.
and incorporating them into your routine.
Exactly.
It's like having a whole team of digital health experts at your fingertips.
I like it.
Before we wrap up this deep dive,
Mm-hmm.
let's revisit a point that Professor Song emphasizes throughout his guide,
Okay.
the importance of personalized care,
Yes.
especially for individuals with chronic health conditions.
So important.
He's really adamant about this.
He is.
He urges anyone with underlying health issues to consult with their healthcare provider and follow their guidance.
Absolutely.
It's a reminder that there's no one-size-fits-all approach to health. And what works for one person might not work for another.
So true.
It's about taking ownership of your health journey
Yes.
and working with a qualified professional to create a plan that meets your individual needs.
Couldn't agree more. And that includes being honest with yourself about what's realistic and sustainable.
Right.
It's not about setting yourself up for failure with unrealistic goals,
Yeah.
but rather finding those small incremental changes that you can stick with for the long haul.
I love that.
Me too.
All right, we've covered a lot of ground here today.
We have.
From the science behind healthy habits to the importance of mindset and self-care.
It's been a great discussion.
I'm feeling inspired, but also a little overwhelmed by all the information.
That's understandable.
It's a lot to take in.
It is. But remember, it's not about doing everything perfectly.
Right.
It's about finding what works for you
Yeah.
and incorporating those healthy choices into your life in a way that feels sustainable and enjoyable.
And that's the key. Right.
It is.
If it feels like a chore,
Yeah.
you're less likely to stick with it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So let's end this deep dive on an empowering note.
I love it.
If you could implement just one small change today,
Boy.
based on what we've discussed,
Yeah.
what would it be?
That's a great question to reflect on.
What small step can you take today to move towards a healthier, happier you?
It could be as simple as drinking an extra glass of water,
Okay.
taking a 10-minute walk, or setting a consistent bedtime.
Those are all great ideas.
Right.
Remember, small changes can lead to big results.
They can.
And don't underestimate the power of those seemingly insignificant choices.
So true.
They can have a ripple effect,
They can.
creating positive momentum that
Yeah.
propels you towards your
I
goals.
love it. And those small wins build confidence and motivation,
They do.
making it easier to embrace those healthy habits for the long haul.
We've explored the importance of hydration,
Yes.
the power of movement,
Yeah.
the restorative benefits of sleep.
And the significance of mental well-being.
It's all connected.
We've also debunked some common myths,
Right?
highlighted the importance of personalized care, and emphasized the power of technology as a tool for health.
It's been a great discussion.
And most importantly,
Yeah.
we've encouraged you to take ownership of your health journey,
Yes.
to find what works for you,
Absolutely.
and to celebrate those small wins along the way.
So important. So, as we wrap up this deep dive, I want
right.
to leave you with one final thought.
Right.
Remember, health is not a destination.
Mm.
It's a journey.
That's a good way to put it.
There will be ups and downs,
Yeah.
challenges and triumphs,
For sure.
but by cultivating those healthy habits,
Mm-hmm.
by being kind to ourselves,
Yes.
and by embracing the process,
Yeah.
we can create a lifestyle that supports our well-being for years to come.
And that's something worth striving for.
Absolutely.
It's amazing how much Professor Song packs into these 10 tips.
We often think of healthy living as this big, daunting thing,
I know.
but he breaks it down
Yeah.
into these manageable pieces,
He does.
and he doesn't shy away from the fact that we're all different.
Right.
What motivates one person might not do anything for another.
True.
So this guide isn't a prescription. It's more like a starting point
I like that.
for you to explore what works best for you.
Makes sense.
He even suggests using tech to your advantage.
Oh, yeah, the apps
Yeah,
for tracking sleep or finding workouts,
exactly.
they can make those healthy choices feel more tangible. More like a game, even.
Right.
It takes some of the guesswork out of it. Instead of wondering if you're getting enough sleep,
Yeah,
you have the data right there.
I see.
Or if you're trying to eat more veggies, an app can help you visualize your progress
Right.
and stay motivated.
Speaking of motivation,
Okay.
I think one of the most important things we've touched on today is the idea that it's okay to start small.
Absolutely.
You don't need to overhaul our entire lives overnight.
No way.
In fact, those drastic changes are often unsustainable.
Right. It's much more effective to focus on one small,
Yeah.
achievable goal at a time.
Okay.
Maybe it's drinking an extra glass of water each day, or taking a 10-minute walk during your lunch break.
Those little wins can build momentum
You do?
and create a ripple effect.
I agree.
Suddenly, you're making healthier choices without even thinking about it.
It becomes a habit.
It becomes part of who you are,
Yes.
not something you have to force.
I love that.
And that's where true transformation happens.
It is.
It's not about white-knuckling your way through a restrictive diet
Right.
or forcing yourself to do workouts you hate.
No.
It's about finding joy in those healthy habits.
I like that.
Discovering what makes you feel good, both physically and mentally.
Couldn't agree more.
It's about listening to your body,
Yes.
respecting its limits, and celebrating its strengths.
Love it.
And recognizing that health is not a static destination, but a dynamic journey.
Exactly.
There will be setbacks, plateaus, and moments of doubt.
It's all part of the process.
But by cultivating those healthy habits, by being kind to ourselves,
Yes.
and by embracing the process,
I would agree.
we can create a lifestyle that supports our well-being for years to come.
That's the goal.
We've only scratched the surface of Professor Song's guide today.
Right.
But I hope this deep dive has given you some actionable insights and renewed inspiration to prioritize your health.
I hope so.
We'll include links to all the resources we mentioned in the show notes.
Perfect.
So you can explore them further.
And remember,
yeah,
you're not alone in this journey.
that's so important.
There are countless resources available.
Right.
From online communities to healthcare professionals.
Yeah.
To support you along the way.
Yeah. So what will it be? What small change will you implement today
That's a great question.
to move closer to a healthier, happier you?
You got this.
The power is in your hands.
Thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive.
We'll see you next time.